Hey, everybody, we're here for a new episode of Five for Talking. It's been a while, but we're back. I'm here with Muscles Marinara, the captain and the sauce. We're just going to jump into this one. We're going to be splitting it between Leafs and NHL. It's going to be more Leafs. I have the hat on, so I have to. Oh, he also has the hat on. All right. Well, let's jump into this. Sorry, NHL. Edmonton sucks.
Oh man, let's just jump into it. Most of the Canadian teams suck.
Let's
Like
just jump into it. They
you
do.
know, I think like Vancouver's been a bit of a surprise. Like we all know that they have a pretty good lineup. Seems like they're pretty good under Rick Tocchet's thus far. But man, these Canadian teams, man, I don't know what the heck is going on, man. Like it's just
Well, I like Ottawa should be a lot better than they are.
yeah,
But then again, that division is very good this year. Like the
yep.
worst team being Ottawa is kind of surprising. Because like the next team is Florida Panthers, and they have a winning record. So that's gonna be a hard division to be in. But
I can't dispute that. You've hit the nail on the head on that one because it's just the fact is that Ottawa should be moving forward and they should be making some strides here and there, and it's just and they've made some moves. They've addressed a few things in the off season, picking up Corpusalo, but it's like holy crap, like what the hell is going on?
yeah, I think also in like the grand scheme of the NHL, there's two phonies that are hanging around: the Detroit Red Wings and the Canucks. They're both doing good. They both have okay teams.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna last. It's the early season, Perico.
I said that about Boston.
Well, we thought Boston. Well, I knew Boston would still be okay, but we thought Boston would be not as good, and they are still the best team in the NHL,
like
and they're winning
yeah,
right now
I'm the winning right now.
against
It's
Dallas.
you know, um, we thought that Winnipeg would do a lot better. We thought that Winnipeg would have a bit of a bounce back. Um,
They're okay.
I think you mentioned that Calgary was not going to be good at all, and I kind
And I
of
let you put them real high up,
and I
and
let and
farther up than I
you let me
thought.
do that, and I appreciate that, but I was wrong. Um, Edmonton uh, is probably the biggest surprise. Like we thought that they were going to be good, not the best, but at least good, and they've been one of the worst.
Yeah,
Um,
and um, neither one of Draisaitl or McDavid is in the top 10 for scoring. And Draisaitl, I know McDavid got injured for a bit, but Draisaitl is, I think, 8 points behind first place. So it's like they're pretty decently back. Um,
I read an article that they were thinking about putting Connor Brown on waivers. Like they just pretty
I
much
know they
done
were
with him.
so excited about that move too. That's crazy. Yo, Tyson Berry sucks. I think that's like my biggest like what the hell, because he like not that he's great, but like he usually gets points. He
Tyson
stinks.
Berry
Yeah.
from Nashville. Okay. Oh, we're switching over to Nashville. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying he was on Edmonton last year,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
why it came to my head. But
Got it.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. It's like Zach Hyman's kind of regressed. Fucking excuse my language. Nurse has been not that great.
no, Nurse has
Um,
been really bad.
the goalies are horrible.
Edmonton arguably has the worst goalie duo in the NHL.
Like Skinner's lost. I don't know what the hell. Like Campbell is continuing on from last year. Um, but Skinner's regress as well. It's like they have no chance. They have zero chance. It's like, what do they do? Almost every single team in the NHL are up against the cap. And it's like, you know, um, team like Edmonton, it's like, what do you do? You know what I mean? It's like, I think, and Edmonton and Vancouver are going to be starting up in a couple minutes, or they've already started.
It's one
So
nothing Edmonton.
Okay. Well, I'm fairly certain that Draisaitl and McDavid will end up having really good seasons, but
Yes.
they're gonna have to be like superhuman, like in order to get this team back on track because they're not getting any help. They're not. I
Yeah.
don't know how you feel.
Sorry, I didn't
You
know
just
if you were
zoned
going to
out for a little bit
continue.
there, eh?
And I wasn't sure if you were going to keep going. I was really lost in your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a rough situation, man.
I get that a lot.
It's really awkward. And like just Boston is so good. Jack Hughes was tearing it up and then he got injured. I don't know how long he's out for.
That sucks. I mean, Vegas is still continuing on what they did last year. They're just fuck. They're great.
Colorado is
Um,
like a 50-50 at this point. They started really good, but then like they have a lot of questionable stuff going on.
Cooled off.
And
Um, yeah, teams that we thought that were going to do well, um, they're like 50-50. I think you were really high in the Kings, and when I watched that Kings Leafs game, it's like, God damn, man, this defense is incredible.
no,
Like
it's because the whole team can
they're
play defense.
huge. They tower over everyone, eh? Like
They
all you
built
guys are like
they built a
6 foot.
tough guy team.
Damn,
They have a 90s team.
that uh, I don't know, man. Like this season is probably going to be one of the more interesting ones because we've been off. I've been off on quite a few things. I like, geez, with the way things are going, it's going to be probably a Boston versus Vegas final.
Yeah. And I mean it'll probably be a good watch, good series. I mean, I don't want
Probably.
that. Because the Leafs are let's just talk about the Leafs and they suck. And I say that lovingly. They are even when they win, they play really badly.
Yeah, yeah. I well, all right, let's get into it, man.
Talk to me about Samsonov.
First of all, before we get into it, like Philadelphia, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like they're playing well. Anyway, all right, back to the
They
Leafs.
are playing well.
Back to the Leafs.
Hold on. And while we're at that, Minnesota's playing bad. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Um, they brought in tough guys, and they're softer than last year. I don't like. I don't get it. Like you bring in tough guys, and you play soft, more soft than last year. That makes any sense. Um, you're not getting any support from the bottom six. It's mainly the top six. The defense is like up and down. Riley is just trying to do whatever he can to just like do everything that he can. Brody, I don't know. You don't really hear much from him. I guess that's a good thing.
I forget that Brody's there most of the time because he's
It's
doing
like
nothing.
Klimberg. Man, I thought this guy was brought in to take more shots on the power play. He hasn't even taken a shot, I don't think. And he's made some mistakes. It's been okay at times, but um, Giordano. I think Giordano's been one of the better defensemen.
He's always one of the better defensemen in all the gay years
But
he's been on the
that's
Leafs.
that's
All
an
the years.
issue. That's an issue. He's at the end of his career. He's 40, and
Yeah, but when
he's
you're a good
doing this.
defenseman, you're good.
I mean, I watched the game tonight. Langs, uh, Langeson is playing well. Benoit is playing well. I kind of want to see these guys play a little more. It's unfortunate. I mean, Jake McCabe was not playing well. He did a lot of pinching, and it cost a lot of Leafs goals. And Lilligren did not play well in the first couple of games, but then he started getting his play back, and it was unfortunate what happened to him because it was a dirty hit. It was a dirty play. And you got dumbass referee who's 6 feet from the play who didn't even call a goddamn thing. I guess this is leading into it. We briefly discussed it. I would love to have this discussion with you now, but I was unhappy with their reaction. You know, it's like Reeves and Keefe were the only ones saying something. And I want to get into Keefe afterwards because he's fucking annoying me now. Reeves has a reaction. He's chirping at Marchand. Marchand is skating by the Leafs bench, saying whatever he needs to say. Tavares is there not saying a goddamn thing. He's not even looking at him. A couple other guys are not even looking at him. And Bertuzzi's laughing. And I understand, what you were saying. It's just when I look at the context and I look at the whole situation, it's just one of your teammates just went down. And there's a time and place for everything. And I just didn't think that was a time to have that kind of reaction.
But I think that reaction is impulsive based on the fact, like, he's not thinking about the injured guy. He's just sitting there being like, you guys are so stupid. He's like, this is exactly what this guy wants to do to you, and you're letting him do it to you. And Reeves looked like an idiot. Reeves is literally like a psychopath screaming on the bench. Like, just sit down and shut up.
I agree with you. But then it brings up my other point. It's like, shit. Bertuzzi doesn't give a shit about his teammate. Like your teammate.
But he's not thinking
just
about
left
the
ice, being helped by a bunch of guys, being helped off the ice.
And I think that's where everyone has it misconstrued. I've seen so many comments. Like, it is what it is. I understand it to a point, but it's like
they don't support each other.
It's not even supportive. It's me being like, how are you guys letting him do this? And to me, it's
that's it.
Is like, you guys are ridiculous. I cannot believe he's the one who doesn't feel supported because you guys are idiots. Like, what am I doing here? Like, he's like, why am I here?
Sorry, who is?
The Bertuzzi. His laugh is like, I can't believe I'm part of this kind of thing, which is like, they're idiots.
But that guy needs to look at himself because he sucked too. He
started off all right. He fell apart. Listen, Max Domi's terrible.
All of the signings have been terrible up until now. I mean, Domi probably had one good game. That's it.
Legitimately.
But like, it's really hard for me. Here's the other thing. During that play, it's like now you're seeing the replay. You see the fact that this guy just took out your teammate with a dirty play. It's like the thing I have now is that the opposition gets first dibs on who stays on the ice. So Marchand stays on the ice, and you don't send out a tough guy to like try and fucking like.
But I don't know. Is this a retaliation moment? Like,
well, I would hope it would have been. I'm not saying fight him. I'm not saying. I mean, like, what is the response here? Because you remember that they scored again. Boston scored again after that. Not too long after that.
I think that after we've seen how many times the Leafs have let their goalies get hit and not do anything about it, that I don't expect much if a player gets hit.
And that's the most disappointing thing, is that we've accepted that these guys are a bunch of fucking pussies. And I
said it out loud.
I said it out loud. I'm hoping that they prove me wrong. You know, they'd had this team meeting and all this stuff, and they addressed it. They haven't addressed squat for the next couple of games after that. They haven't done anything. I hope they prove me wrong because I still enjoy watching this team. I'll support them, but geez, man, like, make me believe that, you guys stick up for each other. Make me believe that you guys are not going to take this crap from anybody. Because that's the makings of a championship team.
And it's funny because to me, I see, and this is going to be a weird comparison. I see less of a football team here, less of like a hockey team, and they're more of like a basketball or soccer team where the guys getting the big bucks don't give a shit about what anyone else or what happens. They just come, they have their own private locker room. They don't talk to anybody. You have to talk to their agent if you want to talk to them. And that it doesn't feel like a proper winning team, you know? It feels like when you watch a movie about a basketball team and there's like that one guy that makes so much money and you can't even go near him.
Yeah.
Because that's legitimately how I feel about Mitch Marner. Like, I don't know how bad Matthews and Nylander are, but I imagine Nylander's a bit of a dick as well, as from what I hear. But like, I imagine like Mitch Marner just hates everyone and just wants more money.
They're going to be in a difficult one. I don't see Tavares taking more money. So, I don't know. I don't know. That's how I feel. I want to let you know what I felt in
You
terms
told
of
me.
the whole situation. It's just I hope these guys prove me wrong because they're not going to go anywhere.
Okay,
They're not.
let's talk about the goalie situation.
Well, I think this coincides with the Keith situation. He doesn't know who to play.
He's also a really listen, and I've said this multiple times, and now I hope you feel like an idiot having disagreed with me all those times. He is an awful coach. Like he's not NHL caliber.
Man, I think it's like everyone. He is horrible. He doesn't know who to deploy. He like he the last few games or the last 5 games, he's only playing 3 lines. He's not even using his fourth. Then he wonders why that his players are like freaking tired as hell. Um, he doesn't know how to use them, and there's the ways to use them. And he's just not using them properly. Like Holmberg, Reeves, and Gregor. I don't. What the fuck is that? What is that?
A
Cav is
last
not
resort,
playing well.
a last resort line.
Like Cav, Domi, and Nyes? Really? Like, I hated that first line with Yonkrock on there. I hated that first. I hated it. Like, you're telling me there's nobody else that you can put on the first line? Finally, tonight he puts Nyes on that first line, brings down Holmberg and calls up Robertson. Um, it's like, if I'm pretty sure if you were the coach, you'd be riding the hot goalie.
But this is an awkward situation, and I want to say this. When Wall plays the whole game, he doesn't play that well. Whenever he gets brought in to cover Samsonov, he makes like 20 saves and has a shutout.
Yeah, tonight he almost did the same thing too. He let in 1 goal.
Yeah, and he saved like I think 20 shots, something like stupid.
He played another great game. It was a full game, but I can't remember what it was. But
he's not. I don't think he's that bad. I also don't believe that he's a true like superstar talent goalie like everyone else in Toronto does.
Not yet. I don't think so yet. I think he's.
I don't even think he has it because he's not that young. But he's fine. He could start. And I just don't know what happened with Samsonov because he was so good last year. I don't know what the hell happened.
I'm with you.
Like that's our Jack Campbell moment. One year of like top tier amazing goalie, and then the next year, like what the hell happened to this guy?
Yeah, it's like, but what do? Do you send down Samsonov and call up Martin Jones? It's like
honestly, Martin Jones might be the person we need right now. But he's not going to clear waivers.
He's not. He played okay for Seattle. I think he kind of tapered off.
He's not too old to be productive, and he has the skill and the ability to be still a starting goalie in the
NHL. Absolutely. It's just I don't know if this is the right team though. With the way.
Yeah, but maybe his presence helps. Maybe they run a 3 goalie system and they dump one of the players.
Yeah, they said the same thing about Reeves too, and then about his presence.
Yeah, but he's not bringing you like quality veteran experience. He's just a goon.
Bringing anything.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Minnesota just signed Patrick Maroon, and they're saying he's really good in the locker room. So,
like, oh man, but like, yeah, you could bring up Martin Jones, but it's just like it's the way this team plays in front of their goalies. How sometimes they just leave them out to dry. Like
Maybe
it's
they
just,
need a goalie, an old school style goalie, a Patrick Waugh that's going to smash his stick and go to the bench and be like, "Are you guys fucking stupid?" Who's going to go in the thing like, "You either cover me or I'm just going to get out of the way and let all the pucks go in the net."
so what you're saying is they need someone to speak up in the dressing room.
They need a goalie that talks, that gets offended by how shit his team is.
I need to we need to talk about Tavares as well, man. Like, yeah, he produces a point a game player, but does this guy ever say anything?
I don't believe
Like,
so.
he's a captain, isn't he? I thought, like, shouldn't he act like one? Like, call out some players, tell them like they need to step up. Like,
I'm pretty sure
what,
he's
like,
too busy doing Marner and Matthews laundry.
yeah, they are definitely in a pickle right now because
You know what they
there's
should
only
do?
so many things that they can do.
You know what they should
Um,
do? Try and hire Patrick Marleau to do anything on the team.
they got Shane Doan.
I think that those young guys really liked Marlowe while he played there, and I think having him on some kind of coaching capacity could sway them to change to be like better players.
I don't know. Just said the same thing about Joe Thornton. Bring on all those old
Yeah, but Joe
guys,
Thornton wasn't there. Joe
veterans
Thornton
back,
was there for one season as a player at like 42.
and they really liked them. But
Yeah,
I
but
don't know, man.
I want coaching Marlowe.
Well, what do you do at this point? Do you fire Keefe right now? Like,
Oh, yeah.
do you who's the assistant coach? Oh man, the one that they used to coach in Ottawa.
Shane
He's one of the
Doan.
assistant coaches. He's got the scar right here.
Shane Doan.
No, not Shane Doan. He's
That's the
assistant
only other
GM.
person I know that works on the team.
Oh my god, am I gonna have a drawing a blank right now?
Pierre Dorian.
Not Pierre Dorian. Um, Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Oh God. Okay, let's move on. Jeez.
I don't know who it is. Brian
All
Boucher,
right, then
the
look it up,
goalie.
man.
The
No, Boucher. He was a coach for Ottawa years back, and now he took up an assistant coach for the Leafs, job with the Leafs this year. Um, he used to be a head coach. It's like, do you give the reins to him or do
I
you
would.
go out
I'm
trying to look
taking
for
a
another coach?
flyer out on trying to hire Patrick Waugh.
Nah, that guy's just a loose cannon. He's just
Yeah, I think that's what they
mental.
need.
Yeah, they said
Uh,
the same thing about Brian Burke, and then he was out of
listen,
control
we had
too.
a chance to sign a good coach in the offseason. Who was available? Was it Boudreaux or one of those really good coaches was available?
Well, we discussed Joel Quenville, but I don't know if
Yeah, but there's a
he's
whole
able to come
situation
back.
behind
Yeah, no,
that.
I know about the whole situation, but I don't think he's allowed back for now. I think, if I remember correctly.
I mean, listen, Sheldon Keefe is not the guy.
No, it's like all the line juggling. It's like, what kind of chemistry are you gonna attain from all that line juggling? It's insane. Um, you know, like, have your lines ready. If they're not performing in game, then fine, juggle a little bit, but you need to establish what your lines are now. You know, I didn't mind separating Tavares and Nylander and creating more depth on that second and third line. It was an interesting idea. Should have let it ride a little bit instead of just giving it up in the second try. But you know, because it would have allowed Robertson to stay up, and now you've established three decent lines that can score. If you can just continue on practicing, getting some more reps in, you might be able to, get some chemistry out of that. But it's like, all right, let's just put those two old lines back together and see if that works again. It hasn't gotten you anywhere for the last few years. Like,
And also, let's just talk about tonight's game for a second. Today's Monday. Um,
November 6th,
thank you. The day of the year of our Lord,
2023.
2023. Um, yes, the Leafs scored a lot of goals and made a comeback. Okay, and we know they can score goals. If Vasilevsky was in net, you would not score all those goals.
Absolutely not. I actually had that thought in the back of my head. In the back of my mind, I had that thought. It's like, you guys probably wouldn't have won that game if Vasilevsky was in net.
They almost double lost to a whimpering former champion Tampa Bay. Like they have very little left in the tank. And the first time we faced them, they were beating us for the whole game and we came back and won. And this time the same thing. Both games were in overtime.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm not happy with that win, eh? It doesn't make me more.
But this is what makes it worse because we could have potentially, Vasilevsky was playing, lost both of those games. So we would have had two more losses than we'd have wins right now.
It doesn't matter what happened in the playoffs last year. Like, new season, you guys should be better than the Tampa Bay Lightning.
We
You know what
potentially
I
were
mean?
going to be 4-4-4. 4-4-4 would be our record right now.
It does not make me more confident or more comfortable going forward, even though they won that game, because they are not a confident group right now. It doesn't matter who's scoring and all that crap. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, do you know that the Leafs are the worst team at home in terms of goals against
This season,
this season thus far?
I believe it.
They are they've drawn up the most penalties, most men on the ice penalties.
So wait, they have
Thus far
more
this
than
season.
one?
Yeah, too many men on the ice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you have more than one a season of that? And it's only
Well, I
12
think they got like
games
about
into the
three
season.
right now. Like things that should be on lockdown. Things that they should know instinctively. They are not able to get done right now, and
Well,
it's embarrassing. This group has been together for a long time. I mean, most of the players anyway. Like,
I think we know what Tyler Bertuzzi was laughing at now that they have three too many men on the ice penalties in 12 games.
well,
Just
anyway,
Sheldon Keefe's got to go. That's bottom line. Everything else we can figure out later.
I think Brendan Shanahan needs to go.
Yeah.
I think he's the architect. He's the guy that put this all in place. I think
I would have rather had him fired and had kept Dubas. Made Dubas that position.
it's a hell of an argument. I don't know. I just have a hard time because Dubas put us in this mess as well with
Also, Pittsburgh sucks.
salary cap constraints. But the other thing is that I can't honestly keep a dude or a guy who isn't sure about wanting to still be here, and that concerns me sometimes. Like, when you say that in a presser and you're told not to, but he says it anyway. It's like, you know what, this
No,
guy.
and that's fair. That's fair. And
To
but also,
take a page from Seinfeld. This guy, he ain't my type of guy.
he's not a type of guy. And also, Pittsburgh sucks this year, so I don't know if he's doing anything good for them.
Yeah, man. Like, I think I just saw an article where, like, Crosby. Someone wrote that Crosby should start thinking about giving it up. I'm like, what? It's so stupid.
You
But
want to?
he is on a bit of a down year right now.
I watched a video of like I don't remember who it was, like a legit hockey person talking about how Sidney Crosby is not one of the great players. And I was like, he won 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, he's done his job. I don't know.
What's your argument? Like, I don't understand. He's also one of the best players of all time.
Yeah.
of all time. And
Like,
you're trying to tell me he's not good? Like he should retire? Then that like same thing with your article. That's stupid. Like people just need to figure it out.
yeah, I don't know. Some people have these weird observations, and I don't know. Sometimes it's just I don't get it where they're coming from. Just weird. But yeah, man. Good talk. Good talk.
Yeah, good talk. All right, we'll wrap it up here, guys. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think about what we said and how wrong we are. Have a good night.